This is a little bit more. You'll see a lot more of these vehicles in the TV series MASH. This is the WC, 2 WCs coming up. This is the Canadian-built WC. Come on up, Terry. This is a Canadian-built, Canadian Forces mark. Now, Canadian Forces uses all the way through the 1990s. And here is an American WC. These vehicles right here were the workhorses, the absolute workhorses of Korean War and early Vietnam. And also they served with the National Guards all the way through the 1980s. Not too much difference. I want you to notice the small things with these vehicles. You notice they all have shovels, they all got picks, they all got axes. Those are called pioneer tools. Sir, you can just stand over there and let everybody watch. This one over here has a 30 caliber machine gun. You've got the radio antenna up above, and also this one has a 40 pick. You notice that? All right. Now right here, this is kind of interesting. These two should be sisters. They're both 1942 Willys Jeeps. The serial numbers are close. They're both actually within 2 weeks of being built. This happens to be one of the museum's Jeeps, and it's driven by Richard Phelan, a World War II veteran, also a veteran of the Berlin Airlift. Wow. A couple interesting things on these Jeeps. Notice the first Jeep has the French wire cutter, which was synonymous with the European theater. Germans would put piano wire across the roads because they knew the Americans used to love riding their vehicles with the windshield down. The reason you ride the vehicle with the windshield down is so that when it's sunny out, you don't have a sun glare reflection that would give away your position. So the Germans used to put piano wire across the roads. And a very enterprising engineer came up with the idea of stealing French fence posts, bending them over, and mounting them on the front of the bumper so that it would break the wire. Saved a lot of people's lives. You have to remember something about World War II, ladies and gentlemen. 65% of all men and women that served came off farms. When you're a farmer, you have to fix things in the field. You can't run out and go get a mechanic. There's no such thing as Home Depot. There's no Lowe's, and nobody's going to come out to your rescue. You have to do it. Also an interesting fact, it was the first time that most men and women owned more than 2 shirts and 2 pairs of pants. And for most individuals that were in the war, it was the very first time they were given 3 meals a day. Never before. Remember, these are the children that were born and raised during the Depression. So everything was sacred. Look at the Jeep right here. The fuel cans are both in the back. Bill Hagan, a good friend of ours right here from Walled Lake, Michigan. 30 caliber machine gun mount. This Jeep right here has the top up. This Jeep right here has the top down. This is the proper windshield skirt right here. They would put a skirt over the windshield that would protect the windshield and it would keep any glare up. Okay. Now Richard's in the what we call the bird Jeep. Richard's lieutenant colonel, and he's got 2 colonels with him, so they want the windshield up. They don't want their hair messed up. So, but both these Jeeps are built within a few weeks of each other. So, all right, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot. '44 Duck, owned and operated by Rob Riegel, and he has some British friends with him. That's good, Rob. I want you to notice something here. This is one of the best comparisons I've ever put. It's the same vehicle. Oh, I lost it. There you go. This is exactly the same vehicle. Except this vehicle here has a boat body on it. And it was designed in Pontiac, Michigan. That's right. Rob rescued this. This is one of the most perfect ducks you'll ever see. It has everything on it conceivable. This duck was used for war bonds, to go around and raise money for war bonds. This is a 1944. This is a 1943. So if we were to take this truck and mount a boat body on it, that's exactly what you'd see. That's a 2.5 ton truck. The first active use of this truck was in Operation Husky, and that was the invasion of Sicily. I'll tell you another interesting fact. During the bloody battle of Iwo Jima, the only vehicle that could make it up the sands, the volcanic sands, was the duck. The tanks got stuck, jeeps got stuck, everything got stuck. But the duck could make it. The reason is the duck can change its air pressure. It can widen out the tires. It's a unique up underneath there. It threw up so much turbulence that the water went into the trailer went in the water and it became an anchor and then submerged the duck. Another crazy thing they came up with, in case the motor stalls, right? You could rig a spinnaker and turn it into a sailboat. Remember, these guys were coming up with everything and any idea. You could also, it has a winch right here in the back. You could run the anchor, run the cable underneath the vehicle, right? And you could actually put the anchor, the big anchor right here on the back, you could actually put the anchor about 100 yards in front, and you could actually pull yourself up on the beach. Because the winch would run up underneath the vehicle. You could also rig lifting poles on the back, and you could lift cargo and put it inside the duck. The first duck was captured in Operation Husky. He was delivered to General Field Marshal Kaiser. He looked at it, studied it, they told him it would float. And he says to his aide, how the hell do we beat these people? I never even heard of anything like this. They actually took the duck and they copied it, made a smaller version called a Schwimmwagen. And it was like the first vehicle you saw go by, the first German vehicle went by, but it had a boat body to it. All right? So, pound for pound, these are the same vehicles. This one swims, and this one doesn't. So, thanks guys, appreciate it. Last but not least, we have the M35s coming up. The workhorse of the Vietnam War, M35s are still in service. You can still buy them out of government liquidation today. This is a 1971 GMC coming up, and I'm trying to get his attention to come on up. Come on down. This is, I want you to see a couple of differences. There he is. Here's another M35, but this is a shop van. Now this is very popular with people that buy vehicles because you can actually make a little studio apartment out of that and stay right there. Camp anywhere you want to go. Okay? The workhorse of the Vietnam War. You notice you got the 50 caliber on top. Dave's got this vehicle painted in the yellow nose. The yellow nose was a very famous truck company during the Vietnam conflict. 50 caliber on top, and that with David with the yellow lights, everybody says, yellow lights, they didn't use yellow lights. Yes, they did. He was convoy escort, or convoy security. You got the shop van, you got another M35 right here. And in the first Gulf War, contrary to popular belief, the first Gulf War and the first phase of the invasion of Afghanistan, M35s are right in the front. Because these are the vehicles they had right up front. They could put them on. What a lot of people don't realize is that there are ships all over the world, pre-positioning ships with American equipment. Some of that equipment's been sitting on that ship for 15, 20 years. These are the vehicles right here they pulled off. The workhorses of Vietnam are the vehicles that went to work immediately. The nice thing about these vehicles, they're multi-fuel. Okay? You can put chicken grease in it. You can put transmission fluid. You can put up to 60% water. You can put gasoline. You can put diesel. You can put anything in these things, and they'll run. They really like automatic transmission fluid. These are all sticks. The vehicles nowadays are all automatics. I don't know why the government went to solid automatics. It's their choice. So maybe more drivers can drive them. You have to learn how to use these vehicles. They're both registered 2.5-ton vehicles, just like the ones you just saw go by, the World War II vehicles, 2.5 ton. You can actually put up to 40,000 pounds in these trucks, and you still won't get to the helper springs. They're that well built. They're solid. They're tanks. During the Vietnam War, they used to put sides, armored sides, all the way around them, mount machine guns in every direction. They called them gun trucks. And they would go sweeping right down roads, and they would take out everything they could. So, here they are. The workhorses of the Vietnam War, the workhorses of the First Gulf War, and the workhorses of Afghanistan and Iraq, right here. Here they are. Thanks, guys. Thank you, David. Now you got a special treat coming up. Greenfield Village has waited quite a few years to get these guys. This is Paul Finn and the Rhythm Society Swing Orchestra. Even if you don't like big band music, you'll like their music. Fantastic. The best band in the Midwest, I guarantee it. Thank you.